What's up, guys? Dylan here. Just read chapter 925 of One Piece, and there's a lot of content in it. I'm going to try to get to everything, but there's just so much that if I forget something, I'm sorry. So let's get right into it. Of course, the biggest thing is Teach's bounty is revealed. Everyone has always wanted to know all the Yonko's bounty. It's a question that's constantly asked in this community, like, what are the Yonko's bounties? And Teach is sitting at a frozen bounty of 2,400,600,000. And I know I'm probably a little bit off on that, but I'm pretty sure that's about what his bounty was stated to be. And it's just huge, especially considering that bounties are from that was before he was a Shishibukai, so that's his bounty when Ace was chasing him around, and that's just ridiculous. So that's really interesting. We'll back it up a slight bit at the beginning of the chapter. Mihawk is talking to Moria's that girl with the ghost fruit, and he says that an interesting topic was brought up at Reverie, and it's best that she leave. And obviously he's talking about how Fujitora wanted to abolish the Shishibukai, so I wonder if that actually happened, because or if it actually might happen, or if just something might happen to the Shishibukai and they'll just return to being regular pirates, because that would be very, very, very interesting. But going back to Teach, Moria is alive, and not only is he alive, but he's about to join Teach's crew. Very, very spicy stuff there, considering that we know how much Moria hates Kaido, so it would not surprise me if we start to see all the Yonko go into Wano in this full-fledged war, because Teach in this chapter mentions that Big Mom is on her way to Wano, and that's very interesting. But we learn that Shiryu of the Rain, which is one of Teach's crewmates, actually killed and took one of Moria's crewmates' devil fruit, the clear fruit, and everyone's obviously curious about why Teach's fruit are hunting devil fruit users and how they're like absorbing it, and it's obviously a possibility that they're just killing the devil fruit users, and then the devil fruit will obviously spawn like into the nearest fruit, so they could be doing that. But I think it's implied that it's like a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? So he gets the clear fruit, and Teach starts talking about what happened at Reverie, which is very interesting because it obviously cut away from Reverie and everybody was wondering what happened. And apparently the commanders fought Fujitora and Admiral Green Bull to rescue Kuma, and it sounds like they did rescue Kuma. I'm not sure, but that's what Teach implied, I think. So that's very fucking interesting that the commanders were able to, I guess, defeat the admirals if they got Kuma out of there. That says a lot. And we meet someone else in Teach's crew that has the nine-tailed fox fruit. It's like a dog fruit model nine-tailed fox. I thought that was really, really interesting, especially since we're like getting into ninja stuff, and then there's somebody with the fruit that's a nine-tailed fox fruit. Like, what the fuck? So a lot of Naruto references coming in to Wano, but yeah. Then Teach starts saying that when he's talking about all the supernova being like getting together on Wano, and Big Mom going there and everything, he says, I guess the battle for that throne is underway, obviously referring to the throne that Im Sama was in. I just think that's really, really interesting, and it's just, so that throne actually means something, like people were battling for that throne. Like, I really, really am curious about Im Sama and Gold Roger's relationship. Just, oh my god, just so much crazy stuff. And then we go over to Wano, first chapter of Act 2, and Tama's okay, and Urashi and Asher are clashing, and Kinemon's in the background, and Asher is just like, basically like, yeah, I really appreciate you leaving us for 20 years, which if he knew like the whole story, which I'm sure he knows part of the story, but like they obviously were going to get killed if they didn't jump into the future 20 years, so I don't really see where Ashura was coming from. But he said, I'm not serving the Kozuki clan, I was serving Odin because he was a strong man. But obviously Odin would want Ashura to serve the Kozuki clan and to help Momonosuke and Kinemon. So we all know that Ashura is going to end up helping him, that he's just a little... right now, he's part of different ways, but Chopper is tending to Tama's wounds, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place, guys. This is my first thoughts on the chapter. Like I still need to reread it and stuff. But Chopper's tending to Tama's wounds, and she's really worried about Luffy. She's not worried about herself, and Chopper just says, "Don't worry." Like we've been here before. Like Luffy's always into these kind of situations, even though this time it's a very, very, very crazy situation. But then it gets brought up that Raizo has a plan to break Luffy out, and I think that's really, really interesting. That like Raizo's about to lead, but it makes sense though because he would be good at infiltration and stealth and everything because he's a ninja. So he probably specializes in this kind of stuff, and he's obviously gonna have some stronger people with him. So I thought that was really interesting. And also at the end of this chapter, we get introduced to the other All-Stars, the other Calamities, Jack's two older brothers, or I guess it's brothers. That's what it said, but it could, you know how brothers work in manga. Like it could be like adopted brothers. It could be people he grew up with. It could be his actual brothers, but he is part Fishman, so they didn't look Fishman. But King and Queen were their titles. I can't remember their names because they're kind of hard to pronounce, but they seemed really strong, and they're actually talking down to Jack. So yeah, Jack is looking like the weakest Calamity right now, but obviously he's still strong. But at the same time, like these guys, like were just like talking down to him, and I thought it was very, 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 very interesting to meet like the other Calamities in this chapter. I like, what is Rochi? If you guys want to comment, like what position is Rochi? Because for some reason I was thinking that he was going to be a Calamity, but we know that there's 3 Calamities, and like these are all 3. So I take it that probably pretty soon we're going to start seeing 1v1s between like these Calamities and like the Straw Hats and the Straw Hat Alliance, and that's why they're being introduced. But this was just a really, really, really interesting chapter, guys. There was so much information. I'm probably going to reread it right after this video, just try to get some things straight. Probably talk about it more on the channel when I do my manga talk episode. But Teach's bounty revealed. We got some insight on Reverie. Got some talk on the Throne Wars, and in my opinion, we're about to start seeing a lot of stuff happen in this arc. And Oda already said that the verse 4 Emperor Saga is coming up, and I think we're about to get a taste of that with like Teach's comments and everything he said. So those are my first thoughts on the chapter, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Dill out.